How's it going? You hear the boys. Say something else cute. How's it going? I'm most definitely here. I felt this way all day. Like the presence. You know what I mean? It's nice. Feels good. Feels like home. Bill Donahue says that. No place like home. Well, that's what it feels like. It feels like home. I don't even know, you guys. My brain was thinking about Harry Potter. I tell you what. There's nothing really that I'm here to talk about. I'm really just here to share some vibes. That's about it. Talk, communicate. Hello, Joe Dado. Just love each other, you know? Like, we're just here. We're just doing the best we can do. Let's just canoodle for a moment. What'd you do today? Are you feeling good? Hi, Jimmy. So much love to you guys. Hi, Jenny. How are you? It's an interesting Sunday out there, huh? That's good, Jenny. That's very good. It's kind of cold over here where I'm at. I'm in Washington State. Where are you guys from? I'm just sitting here in my Care Bear kitchen. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking, Jenny. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good. I feel really, really good, actually. Life is life, and it's pretty interesting. I do notice, though, the more what I tend to focus on is where my life, like, you know, directs, morphs. So I've been really focusing on spirit because that's where, yay! Yes, our battle would be legendary. Yes, Jimmy. Yeah, it's quite interesting what's going on, huh? I'm here for it and I'm excited. I wish more people would well, let's just be honest, wake up. I wish more people would wake up because it's safe now. You can wake up. It's safe. Well, I guess I don't know that for you, huh? But for me, that's the message that I've received over and over again is come out to play, little light worker of God. You're safe now. You won't be murdered this time. You won't be tarred. You won't be torn apart. People did some creepy stuff back in the day to people who said they knew God or like communed with God or like what? I thought that was the goal. I thought that was the goal. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, bye, Jenny. Have fun. Enjoy your moments. They're yours to enjoy. I have to keep the faith that I believe we can fly in my little dangly thing and jiggle. Oh gosh. There's so much more going on than what we even can try to think we know. And I do know that God, Source, Great Spirit, Source Energy, primordial light is in power. No fear. The key to the... Okay, listen to this. The key to the pyramid sphinx in the middle of the earth is the high frequency solar vehicle given in the symbol of the lion sun and in the symbolic structure of the space-time pyramid, which gives to all levels of evolution in our zone the mathematical, astronomical keys to the surrounding higher evolutions. That's actually pretty intense. It's a lot. It's deep. It's deep. I think I'm gonna head to Puerto Rico. I think that's what's on the agenda. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna spend like a while there. And just spend time with myself. Read. Do lots of reading. How are you guys doing? How is life in your neck of the woods? How are you enjoying your moments? Or are you not enjoying your moments? If you're not enjoying your moments, I welcome you to chat about it here because we are better together. Yes, love. Oh, boy. Jackson has his cousin over. They are playing.
Jackie! Why you do that? No. Oh, get away. Hey, don't stop, get away.
Aren't people funny? People are funny. It's funny. He just keeps holding on to it. I don't know if you can hear the conversation that's going on in the living room. No, I just have to keep remember we're all trying, right? We're all trying. There's no judgment here. We're all trying. There's no judgment here, you guys. I'll just sit here on my counter and read a book. Okay, we're going to read. The imprint of the divine mind upon the emanations of the Ein Sof, the limitless light, commissions a network of divine inkages which shape the universes continually being created. These universes emanate from the consciousness light forces that are shared by the Father's consciousness and the consciousness domains of Elohim. The consciousness time zones are the boundaries of consciousness expansion for the individual emanation of the divine mind. The more sophisticated the consciousness, the more complex the time zone. That's interesting. Therefore, infinite creative programs and possibilities for consciousness expression and expansion in an infinite number of universes are limited only to the singular Elohistic imprints of light and emanating from the divine mind. The consciousness time zone is the collective gathering of singular imprints into a hierarchical structure of minus infinity, which defines the field existing between luminaries. It unifies individual programs of luminaries so that a given number of creator gods share a common spiritual purpose. Okay, so I don't really understand all of that, but I do know that what I think about is what I create. So if I'm filling my little minds, and the fact that it is 3:11, come on, stop it. That's a UBT. It's just planting seeds. That's what this journey is about. That's why the programmers have done this whole COVID thing, but it really backfired on them, and it didn't work out the way that they wanted it to work, because a whole bunch of people ended up waking up during it because they spent all that time alone. Yeah. I think they maybe thought they were stronger, like the programming, the music and the food and the TV, the shows, the whole thing. It's all part of the programming. Just start saying, I do not consent. I do not consent. But anyways, seeds planted, huh? So whatever you pay attention to, whatever you're constantly thinking about, that's what your mind's going to roll around. Sometimes we think about poopy things. I know I have. All, however, must relate to a divine template of the creator gods, the Elohim, through which they extend their sublime teachings into a template recorder cell in the midst of that which is defined as a mansion world containing a myriad of galaxies. Stop. My crown chakra is like... The individual recorder cell can receive different forms of the spatial coding of light. Therefore, the codes of light operate through myriad forms of the sephirothic emanations, which break down in the physical world into sets of pulse, group, gravitational waves, waves operating in a vacuum, etc. The template The template recorder cell allows for multiple levels of firing rates, which are collectively composed from various types of waves, which permit the geometry of a seed form of light to move from one state of consciousness to another. It's literally talking about what I was just talking about. So that's UBT. That's confirmation. That's yes, go. The higher evolution is also able to beam spiritual knowledge from the recorder cell to a specific localized intelligence. For example, through the multi-light image transformation, the recorder cell template allows for light impulses arriving from a divine template to be allocated to specific localized zones of consciousness where they are adapted to the paradigms necessary for the distribution of light. The template recorder cell sends out thought forms and information which are continually active in space. Forms of advanced physical intelligence can directly tap into this information if they have a crystalline network within their brain cavity. Do y'all remember when I did that study, or not the study, but the Change Your DNA, Change Your Life? Do you guys remember that? If not, go back and do it. It's there on my channel. But that's what you do, is you allow yourself, you give yourself permission to morph your DNA code into the crystalline DNA code, which is that missing part that everybody always says is junk DNA. That's what that piece is. That piece is that. Yep. Fun. Okay. So if you have a crystalline network within their brain cavity, for this reason, the brains of advanced physicals will reveal the right and left hemispheres fused and a small crystal network in the right frontal lobe, which acts as a crystal recorder cell. The third brain, is that the pituitary? No, the pituitary is in the black. That's the pineal gland. And do you know, it says in the Bible, it says that he called the place Peniel because he's seen God face to face. Look it up. Okay, the right and left hemispheres fused, and a small crystal network in the right frontal lobe, which acts as a crystal recorder cell or third brain, transposing the language of the higher evolution into the vernacular. I love this. This is the meaning of the many and the one. Oh, that's funny. The many templates or monitoring mechanisms of light connecting one program with many programs of organization. And at the head of these many templates, there is the pulsating divine template, which allows for the processing of large amounts of information for local application. Interesting. This triggers a divine calling frequency, which is available for the universal application. Kind of sounds like the knowledge book. Consequently, when the divine template is connected with the divine language being processed through the other templates of light, there is a synthesis of many consciousness forms of light. That's interesting too. Hey guys. These consciousness forms of light are governed in turn by the hierarchy of the Elohim, who advise the lower evolutionary hierarchies on what information should be placed within their respective recorder cells. They also determine how to program the computer recorder cell with the internal language and the brain network, what we think about, y'all. That species require for changes through successive evolutionary programs. They reassess how the brain network is processing information according to the original consciousness blueprint of the divine seed. In terms of the human evolution, they determine which parts of the brain network can be used for selective adaptation. Let's clean that up, whatever that was. This is interesting. When this takes place, the mind becomes a receptor for quantum mechanistic corpuscles of light. Hence, it becomes its own field of light for your body. That's interesting. The mind becomes a receptor for quantum mechanics. Okay. It becomes its own field of light for the body. Yet the mind still remains in the field of a photonic envelope being directed by the recorder cell, which in turn is a field of light within the field of the divine template and the Ein Sof, the limitless light of the Father. Is that the two became one? Thus, throughout all of these field levels, there is a highly organized state of cells and tissues that is formed through the crystal lattice of the Shekinah universe, processing light from the semiconductivity of the gematria template. Hi, baby. The inner mathematical synthesis of all biostructures of light. This biosemiconductivity of germatia is indispensable for the existence of man within all macromolecular branches of light. Under the control of the recorder cell, man is fundamentally the vessel of light. That was a lot of hubba bubba for saying that we are the light. We already know that we're the light, right? The life that God is the light of man. Why couldn't they just say it so much easier? Okay. However, image formation and super holographic descriptions are meaningless for brainwave mechanisms to decipher mind to events unless they are amplified through a quantum mechanistic corpuscles of light. The progressive seeding of divine images takes place through spatial phase relationships, three-dimensional networks of expanded neurons, which work as super holograms emanating from a template. This seeding is necessary as the program changes and is updated. Holographic organization shifts emphasis from axonal impulses to the slow potential microstructure that develops in the post-synaptic networks. In man, given the neural hologram, these steps lead to image constructions of the seeds of light. Therefore, the key tells us the mind is in the field of light, and the field of light within a field of light, and then eternal light. Okay, so let's say that again. The mind is in a field of light, and the field of light is within the field of light, and then it's inside the eternal light. And the eternal mind is constantly imprinting functions of the eternal in every form of life, right? So if you just start focusing on what you're going for, like Christ consciousness, so I just focus on that. I mantra it all day long in my mind. This is where I want to be. Out is in. Therefore, the key tells us already did that one. A physical species then serves as one of the membrane types between star systems as a holograph within the mind. This membrane is instant media for the cosmic circuit. Thus, man is as much in space as space is in man, for he, in actuality, is a thinking membrane between the luminaries. That's intense. Our entire phenomenal world, which we experience waking or dreaming, can represent a strictly determined, orderly phantasmagoria that the higher evolution can use for consciousness thought transmission. That's pretty much what it's saying is that it uses what we're going through right now for, and that, yeah, okay. Whew. Metatron explained to me that the higher evolution generally programs man to accept the realities of the higher universe by taking man's subjective consciousness body out of his physical body during a dream cycle for education through a visual light experience. That's interesting. When man progresses in his spiritual education during a meditative state, his electromagnetic body can be taken into other physical and consciousness worlds of light. There he can receive education beyond his physical world of reference, which enables him to synthesize multidimensional reality. He also gains a working knowledge of how his 5 body vehicles of energy can prepare him for the actual wearing of the Christ body. How's that for you, E.T.? Interesting. Metatron explained that when man has fully matured in his spiritual evolution, his physical body and consciousness body can be literally taken off the planet through Merkaba. Merkaba is the Star of David. Yep. Since the in 3-dimensional form, that's what it is, Star of David. Since the higher spiritual teaching cannot be entirely given on the earth plane due to the lower vibratory levels. That's very interesting as well. Metatron told me, however, that man must distinguish between lower levels of subjective experience produced by phosphine geometries, as opposed to the divine light directly revealed through Merkaba. These subjective patterns of phosphine geometries, stars, wheels, bright dot patterns, etc., which arise out of the altered state of consciousness, are still the result of the physical patterns of consciousness connected with the lower, that's interesting, lower vibratory grids. This is very interesting. This is high knowledge. So if you're sticking around for this, hello. These subjective patterns of phosphine, I already did that. However, the existence of pulsating light geometries within the consciousness of man shows that he is already part of a divine circuit of information which flows from light body to light body. The phosphine geometries are simply the eternal readout. Accordingly, the Brotherhood of Light uses some of the phosphine geometries to code man's consciousness into an interlanguage of light. If man would look at his inner space, he would see how the Brotherhood can tap into his inner space to code information, just as man can tap into the mind space of the masters. This is delicious knowledge. Okay. Enoch said, oh my God, this is delicious knowledge. This matches what my meditation was earlier. I love it. Okay, ready? Enoch said there are 5 bodies of illumination connected to our physical body, which are the keys to the mechanistic adaptation of the light fields that are necessary for the seeding process of divine wisdom. Hokama. That's what it's called. Hokama. Doesn't that feel good? Hokama. It feels good when I say it. It feels good right here. Hokama. I have lavender essential oil on. It's delicious. Okay, ready? Hokama. Into the physical world. Hokama requires, which is wisdom. Hokama requires a complex network for its superior cataloging. Through this superior cataloging, the divine template acts upon neural electromagnetic events. These events are consciously directed, mentally quantized, and psychologically cataloged through color events. In order for man to truly use Hokama, wisdom, he must have all 5 bodies active so that they can work directly with the pulsating template of the recorder cell, the divine template, and the counsels of the Elohim on the higher levels of reality. It is through this collective mastery that teaching is given and received. This mastery is based upon man's ability to work simultaneously with the information from many worlds of the lower heavens. He must master this stage before he can truly understand soul progression. I'm going to read that again, okay? Because in order for man to truly use wisdom, he must have all 5 bodies active so that they can work directly with the pulsating templates of the recorder cell, the divine template, and the counsels of the Elohim on the higher levels of reality. Okay. It is through this collective mastery, okay? Okay. So that's just extra information for that sentence there. Sorry, I'm learning at the same time. Learning and sharing. This mastery is based upon man's ability to work simultaneously, okay, with information from many worlds of the lower heavens. I'm not 100% sure what the lower heavens are, but I'm sure we're going to learn now. He must master this stage before he can truly understand soul progression. One of the 5 bodies can work directly with the template of the many worlds. This, the Eka body of consciousness, which can leave behind the 3-dimensional consciousness time frame and experience other time zones to see and work with the masters of light who protect and educate the EKA body through an activated light network. Moreover, this network of light is used to activate additional plus and minus bodies of consciousness light that are necessary to leave behind the bipolarity of the common universe to experience the EKA, which is the multi-dimensional universe. I think I hear monkeys. The kids, they're playing. Okay, ready? Moreover, this network of light is used to activate additional... Oh, no, I already did that one. I swear. Consequently, in order to work with other worlds of multiple relativity, there has to be a complex network that can serve these worlds, as well as masters who are capable of fusing their consciousnesses simultaneously in all worlds of... consciousness simultaneous in all worlds of multiple relativity. These masters work in a trinitized form in our Sun universe, in its SON universe. This mystery was announced and clearly demonstrated by Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration when he appeared with Moses on one side and Elijah on the other. I remember this. Trinitization. That's a hard word. Trinitization. No, I'm putting an extra syllable in there. Trinitization is given to all ascended masters who work directly with the consciousness minds of the luminaries and have their Christ bodies united with the physical bodies of the masters who are or have been on the earth plane. Jesus' expression of where 2 or 3 or more are gathered in my name, I am in the midst of them, is a true expression of this sacred mystery. Here, a certain sequence of vehicles is necessary to manifest the power of a given divine name, which in turn manifests the power of divine life. Here, a certain sequence of vehicles is necessary to manifest the power of a given divine name, which in turn manifests the power of divine life. In the education of the soul, the conscious activation of the many EK vehicles demonstrates to man how there is a multi-dimensional relationship. Hello, George. Dimensional relationship between body vehicles that can be also interpreted by the multi-dimensional body vehicles of the Master of Light. It's a lot of information. How are you today, George? I hope you are well. At this time, there are many souls who have completed their self-meta programs and yet choose to remain and become future leaders and teachers upon this planet. There are those who, while still living in the physical form, are already working with the quantum of light from the throne. This is now taking place. Oh, I love kittens. Meow. How many do you have? This is now taking place on a greater scale than in previous ages, because in previous ages it was necessary that the operation of the many EKA bodies be limited from the higher correspondences of the Masters of Light, so that the higher vehicles would not be contaminated until the Masters had sufficiently incarnated into the human plane to raise its vibration. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm almost done. Oh, yay, 2 kittens. To work with the higher worlds of light. With the dawning of light on every level of physical creation, it is possible through the opening of the gates of the higher evolution to receive the full manifestation of the EKA bodies, which leads to the ascension of our Christ body. You are now invited to prepare for the greater peace of the Father, who welcomes you with your brothers and sisters. Hold firm in devotion and give hope to others that they might attune their consciousness patterns in resonance with the eternal vibration of the Holy Spirit. That's freaking intense. That's intense. I think we should take the kids to the river. Gonna go.